a test drive. It's awesome. This thing rides great, it handles great, it steers nice and sharp. There's a lot of steerage. So that went really good. I did have to adjust the tie rods. The handlebars were kind of crooked. I got them all straightened out. It's got gobs of power. This thing is, and it sounds good. Yeah, so she's all ready for the paint guy. That's I already started powder coating some of the body parts, and that's going to the paint shop tomorrow. But this guy just showed up. This is a 2006 Yamaha Venture, and first thing I had to do is remove the seat and start it. So I'll have to charge the battery in it. I imagine it's been sitting all winter. This one came from South Dakota, and nice bike. See, there. So nice bike. So I'm going to try to get started on this one tomorrow. If I don't get onto it tomorrow, it'll definitely be Wednesday morning. So we're going to do a little custom stuff on this. We got some black we're going to put on the trunks here. We're going to do a little polish work on it. We're going to repaint this part. He's got some ideas for the front end. So when we get that far, we'll talk about that and see how that goes. I got to order some chrome parts for this. He wants to go with chrome shocks, so I only got black, and chrome wheels. So I did find some nice chrome wheels. Same wheels as I got on the Victory, except instead of black chrome, they're chrome. I just came across them. They're a little pricey, but it'll be okay. Well, I shouldn't say pricey, they're just a little bit more money. So this will be number 103, and that'll be the last one for this season. So once I get done with that one, then I'm going to move on to leisure life, I think, for at least the summer, and then we're back at it. I heard some noise when I pulled this thing in the shop, and I thought, sure enough, we got the dinger. Ride to live, it says. So I got to make sure this goes back on, because people are kind of tied to these things. So I'll make sure it gets tied to this thing. So I'm going to set it here on the passenger seat so I don't forget, but that's going back on the bike. This one has exhaust pipes, but it doesn't have any baffles, so she's a little loud. She's loud, and the 4-cylinder makes its own unique sound. So, yeah, I've done a bunch of these. You know, it's weird. When I first started years ago, I did a whole bunch of Valkyries, maybe about 8 or 9 of them. And then all of a sudden I was doing these, I bought one of these, I bought a 2006, a black one, so it's just the same exact bike, except mine did not have the fairing, and it didn't have the lower fairing because it was in the front end yet. So I put a bat wing on it, or just a windshield, I think. I ended up selling that one. But nice bike. That was my first venture I did, and then I did the slug of them after that, maybe about 8 of them or so. And most of those, for some reason this wasn't here, or I took it off or whatever, and I did an extra little wing that wrapped around the air cleaner. But I think in the last couple I left this intact and I just fit my panels to it, which is going to be the case with this one. And that way it all blends together, and the rider or the owner still has the protection of the lower fairing. So yeah, so we'll be doing some videos on this and the trials and tribulations. But I do have templates for these because I did enough of them. So this is it'll probably be a little easier than the Victory. You know, the Victory here. You know, the thing with the Victory that made it difficult was just the fact that I had to do every single part. Like this piece here, I had to tweak around until I got it done. The side panels, you know, everything except maybe like the hood. The hood's pretty standard. This has got a real shallow box in here. It's only 4 inches deep in the back and 2 inches on the front because it sits right on top of the battery. And I glued a Tupperware kind of plastic dish on the bottom of this that when you slide it in, it actually covers the battery. And that way water won't get on the battery and there won't be debris on the battery. You know, that's kind of important too. But every single piece I did on here as far as body panels took, you know, twice as long probably. But the end result is it's a unique machine and it turned out perfect. I mean, I couldn't have done better. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. And I got the grill here, which I did powder coated in black, and that sits in here. So that's kind of different. The grill is separate from the bonnet. Usually they're tied together, but it turned out to be easier to get it slipped in there if I made them two separate pieces. So you live and you learn. This thing really went down the road nice. The fuses are underneath here. I had to pull this off and pull out the ABS fuses, but this just pulls right off, just like that, on each side, and it just lifts right out of there. It's actually easier than pulling the side cover off. So there's two fuse boxes in here. The windshield just has to be all the way up. You just pull this thing off. There's an antenna on the back side of this. You just unclip the wire, and you got access to everything. So pretty well thought out. I think they did a good job on that. It shares the same thing with the Indian. A lot of the Indian ideas came off of Victory. Even though they're totally different bikes, there's similarities. I think they use the same frame, if I'm not mistaken, on some of their models. But anyway, that's the scoop on a Monday afternoon. So we'll continue tomorrow with updates. And I probably won't do anything until I get this Venture here torn down and ready to rumble.